Okay, so I just made a video and I was sharing my thoughts on wildcard weekend, and now I'm going to give you my take on who will win these divisional round matchups. And so let's just get into it. So we got Houston versus my Kansas City Chiefs. So I think that the Chiefs will be winning this game by a touchdown probably, or maybe 3 points or something like that. And if it's a blowout, I would kind of be surprised, because if you watch the Chiefs, you know we typically don't blow out teams. We had a couple blowouts this year that was nice. That game against the Browns, the one against Pittsburgh. So we're able to do it. It's very rare. So I don't see that happening. I think by touchdown. And so why is this game going to be so close? I think because Houston has a really good defense. We saw what happened in the wild card round, and they were able to force Justin Herbert into 4 turnovers. Okay. And they're really elite at that. So Will Anderson Jr., Derek Stingley, they have some really good people on defense. So I think that that's kind of why it's going to be close and everything. They're definitely going to be able to get pressure on Mahomes, and I think that that will have something and everything. Hopefully the tackle situation is still looking good. That's something that was a struggle during the season and everything. They had Joe Thuney come in as the replacement, but now it looks like they're going to be going back to Humphreys because he was injured and stuff like that. All I know is if Humphreys ain't looking good in the game, if there's too much pressure in Mahomes, swap it out, go back to Thuney, and then go back to Caliendo at left guard, because we can't see this horrible tackle situation again and people get pressure on Mahomes, him sacked again. I can't go through that PTSD again. So if it looks bad, swap it out. And I'm sure that they will. One thing I like about being a fan of the Chiefs, when I see problems on my TV, they're going to fix it. It might take a week or two, but the problem will get fixed. Okay, especially in game, the stakes are high. So I definitely think there's something there. The defense, we can't underrate that. C.J. Stroud, he kind of is in a sophomore slump. I didn't want to admit it at first. I think the offensive line has been an issue, and so I can't ignore that, obviously, because I was just talking about that issue that Patrick's having at this point in the season. However, there's times where I've seen him miss routine throws that he can make, running into sacks, and just not making smart decisions and throwing the ball in harm's way multiple times over. And so there's moments like that, but then I see moments why I still don't think he's trash, and a lot of people turn on him and all this stuff, and I never completely turned on him or anything like that. When he had that really nice throw, and I forget who it was to, I forget where it was at in the game, but there was a really nice throw that he had that really kind of started turning things around and opening it up for them. So I still think he's a good quarterback and everything, but he's not as good as Patrick Mahomes. Everybody knows Patrick Mahomes in the playoffs is different, and I don't understand why everyone still wants to keep disrespecting Kansas City. Like, is it really all about engagement these days? Like, why can't you guys just be honest and say, hey, they've won the last 2 Super Bowls. They're probably going to win again. I don't know why people continue to doubt Patrick. Every time Patrick plays with that chip on his shoulder, every time he plays petty, it's over with. So I think Patrick alone really is the X factor for the most part. But you can't forget about the skill players. You got Kelsey. He's still got it. People want to call him Wash. And he had a decent season. Okay, at the beginning, it wasn't necessarily the best. But over 800 yards as a tight end? He had a decent season. Okay? And he's been able to show up whenever it counts in playoffs. He's going to be great. And then Hollywood Brown, he came the first time that we matched up with the Texans this season, which we won by 8 points. Okay, so Hollywood Brown's going to be there. And then D-Hop, my goal besides Patrick. Yeah, I love D-Hop. I really do. I've become very fond of D-Hop. I have a Cardinal D-Hop jersey because I like the aesthetic, and I'll probably get a Chiefs one. And I typically don't get wide receiver jerseys. I typically only get quarterbacks, but D-Hop got a special place in my heart for what he did for us this season, okay, after Hollywood Brown went down. So I think D-Hop is really going to be sliding it up. Xavier Worthy is finally back in the position that he was supposed to be in as kind of the gadget guy as a wide receiver 3. He doesn't work as a wide receiver 1. And so it's just all working out. Having Hollywood Brown opens up the offense so much more. The tackle situation is looking better. So we had that situation there as well. And so I'm feeling more confident about the offense. The offense has been looking better, has been making plays. So I'm feeling thankful for that. We can't forget about Noah Gray, because Noah Gray has been doing good things for us. You have P. Ryan, he's so good on third down, but Checo was back. Hunt is going to make some good plays for us. So I think that offensively is better. Defense, people have been sleeping on the defense. There was a stretch where they looked bad because Jalen Watson went down. Okay, and I'll say that. And I complained for weeks about there being blown coverages and missed tackles and stuff like that. But since then, Omenihu came back and that helped. Spags started coordinating in a better way and having better schemes. So I think that helped the situation and stuff like that. So I think with that, and Watson is potentially coming back. Chris Jones, we just won a game without Chris Jones. And I'm thankful we were able to, but he should be able to come back. All this team has had rest. They've had rest. They've been able to rest for 3 weeks a month. And this is going to help. People are kind of against them saying, oh, they're going to lose and blah, blah, blah. But this is a team that has done this before. That is a very strong team. So I'm confident by seven. And yeah, that's how I'm feeling. That's how I'm feeling right now. They will get it done. Patrick advances to his 8th consecutive AFC championship game. Book it. Next up, we got Washington versus Detroit. So I didn't think Washington was going to win the last game just because it's Jaden Daniels' first year, okay? And so they won. It was a close game, but he did what he needed to do. He made some great plays. And, the defense, I thought, played pretty decent for them overall. Jaden Daniels is really good at running the ball. He's really good at throwing the ball. And he's a dynamic player. For sure. However, I think Detroit is just too much of a juggernaut at the moment. And I feel like offensively, Ben Johnson, what he's doing with the offense, it's spectacular. It is absolutely spectacular. And so I think just offensively, I think that they're just going to run it up. They're going to run it up. Jahmyr Gibbs, he had 4 touchdowns in the last games that they had. So I mean, he's absolutely juggernaut. Amon-Ra St. Brown, you got Sam Laporta at tight end. I mean, they have a good team on offense. I think Jared Goff is a good quarterback. The one thing though, you get pressure on Jared Goff, he's useless. Okay, you get all those rushers in, and they start getting pressure on him. They start sacking him, and they start doing that. He doesn't really run like that. He's more of a pocket passer kind of guy. So I think that's going to be the key to winning this game and everything. And so, yeah, their defense is really banged up. They had that guy come back, Alan Zanzolini. So I think that's going to help them. But at the same time, when you have, 12 starters or how many of our people they have injured on defense, that is going to affect them. And I don't know if it happens here. I don't think it's going to happen here probably. But at some point, that is going to matter. That is going to matter. Whether that's here, a conference championship, a Super Bowl, it will start to show. Okay? And so I have to say this. And so, yeah, I have Detroit winning this matchup. And then next up, we got the Rams and Philly. And so my overall thoughts on this matchup is I think it'll be a good one. The Rams played really well. Their defense played really well, getting some pressure on Sam Darnold and stuff like that. And so, yeah, they have some heart to them. Matt Stafford, he can be really good and make a lot of crazy throws. You have Cooper Kupp, you have Puka Nacua. So they got good people on their team, Kyron Williams, etc. Eagles are a better team. During the regular season, they beat their ass. At home, mind you, at home. And it's going to happen again. Saquon alone is going to go off yet again. So that is a huge threat in the running game. So you have him as well. Wide receivers, AJ Brown is due for another big game because he only had 1 catch for 10 yards, which is kind of ridiculous and everything. He was blocking and he was still, being a part of the game, but he's due for a big game right here. Devontae Smith is still a great wide receiver as well. You have Dallas Goedert, Jalen Hurts. Y'all hate on him too much as a quarterback, but he wins. Okay, and he was a little bit rusty last week. He was his first game back in a couple weeks, and this week I'm expecting him to be on it. I'm expecting him to have a really good performance. He might not have the flashiest numbers, but as long as he doesn't turn the ball over, he can get a couple of touchdowns. He can make some good runs. That's all we need. I don't really care about the numbers and everything. Is it nice to have 300 yards and 3 touchdowns? Yes, absolutely. But if you lose the game, then who really gives a fuck? I'm sorry. Like, I can only give stats so much, okay? It only really matters if you have nice stats if you win the game. That's how I feel. So, yeah, I just think they're a better team, okay? Nick Sirianni wanted him to be fired at the beginning of the season, and now I can retract that. He made the changes he needed to make, and they're winning. So, yeah, not saying it's going to be an easy game, but I just think the Eagles are going to pull this out, at least by 7. I feel it could be a blowout again. To be honest, with Saquon alone. I truly believe that, but we'll have to see what happens. I think the offensive line for the Eagles is better than Minnesota's. You got Lane Johnson, okay, so he's definitely going to be doing some good things. Dickerson, Mailata, yeah, they have some really good people on the offensive line. So I just think it's better. Like, they have one of the best offensive lines in football. So if it doesn't happen to where they win, I'd be shocked. I would think that they shit the bed in some fashion if they don't win. Or, I don't know, we'll see. But I'm expecting the Eagles to win, I'm sorry. And the last game is going to be Baltimore and Buffalo. So Baltimore, I have winning this game. Lamar has got this reputation as a playoff choker and everything. It is what it is. But, they won the last game in convincing fashion. He has, 43 touchdowns or 42 touchdowns on the year. The passing game has been excellent with Lamar. The rushing game, you know what you're going to get. Derrick Henry is going to make everything dynamic and interesting. Zay Flowers, I'm not sure if he'll be back, but I don't know. I think that they have a great offense. I do. I think their defense has stepped up, and I was worried about them at the beginning of the season, but coordinator finally locked in, defense finally locked in. And so I think he's going to beat Josh Allen. He has a better record against Josh Allen. And I read somewhere that Josh Allen doesn't win against the divisional winners. So I'm not expecting it. He stats pads in the wild card and then he loses in divisional. Sean McDermott will be choking yet again. Defense or someone else is going to choke. Josh Allen might have pretty numbers, but I think Lamar gets it done. I really think Lamar gets it done and meets Mahomes again in the AFC Championship game. Book it again.